Working for the weekend, then I wanna see a show. I flip on the book of face. Yeah, I know where to go. There's a man over there into the music scene, showing lots of love for the community. With great advice, I know who I should go see. So around town radio show.
Thanks to the boys from Sweet Sister Mercy for throwing that theme song at us today. They rocked it out. Yeah, it's fun. It is. And welcome to the show, guys. It is 5 o'clock on a Wednesday. Been a while since we've done 5 on a Wednesday. We're usually at noon with Wednesday with the band. So without any further, I've got them up on the screen. We might as well introduce the fellas with us today. Their little name is under them right now. It's called the Denim Deluxe Band. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, buddy.
I am doing good, man. It's such a pleasure to have you here. Let's see who's checking in with us. Guys, if you're out there watching us live, say hi today. If you're watching after we're live, you can comment and the band will see it. They'll share it on their page too. So if you have a question for them or this or that as we go along today. Hi, Kara. Hi, Jeff. Thank you for being here. Let's see here. What, Jeff Parsons? You know Jeff?
We do.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. So, gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have you on. I got a chance to see you in the full band format the other night, which was fantastic, and really enjoyed the camaraderie on stage and stuff. And we're going to talk about that a little later on because this is a cool project you got going on. So it's called Denim Deluxe, and I've known you guys through other projects and bands for years and years. Let's talk about the Denim Deluxe band. How long have you guys had this together?
It's been about, what, 4 months now?
Four months, I think, yeah.
So relatively new. You're all not new to the music business, but you're new to this this kind of combination of a band. And,
we played together off and on prior to that, filling in things like that. And so it clicked really well for us to do that.
And yeah, you just kind of gave it the name Denim Deluxe. And let me ask that before we even get into how did you guys form the thing, but how'd you get the name Denim Deluxe?
So I kind of had a name in my mind rolling around, Denim and Honey. And, we went through so many names. We were trying to figure out what would be a good representation of what we were doing. So, we had a page of, 100 names or whatever.
Yeah, we were just going through them, and then 7.
Yeah, 7 said Denim Deluxe, and it was.
We were like, okay.
Yeah, well, I was kind of thinking like the Brooks and Dunn album,
Hillbilly
Deluxe.
Yeah.
And Lee kept throwing Denim out there, and I was like, well, screw it. We'll just, let's try Denim Deluxe, see how that sounds.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
just stuck.
I liked it because it's one of those things that lends itself to a lot of great imagery. You can use for marketing yourself or putting yourself out there.
Yeah, the notion of you've got denim, which is very basic and very plain, and you take another word that's opposite of that, and you say deluxe. So you've got a spin on something that's been a traditional favorite.
And it's kind of like it kind of, for me, it harkens back to like the 40s and 50s where they put deluxe on things.
Yeah.
And that sort of vibe,
Yeah, I kind of call it's like blingy jeans, man. Denim Deluxe. There we go.
It's like the ones that you would see Mark Robinson wearing typically.
Well, I think he's endorsed by Warren Star Clothing or something. That's all he ever wears. Mark, if you're watching, you know what we're talking about. So, fellas, let me introduce y'all. First of all, on the left side of your screen, as you're looking at this, guys, is the one and only 7 West, who's in the house. Lee Dixon, right there with the in the middle with the hat on. I can barely see your face. You're shadowed on me here, Lee.
Silver Fox.
You still look good, man. And Catfish Campbell over here on the right side. And Catfish is the drummer in the band, and he provides some vocal talents as well. Lee playing lead guitar and vocals, and 7 playing that rhythm guitar, occasionally picking a few strings and singing up front. So these guys, I got to see them, like I said the other night. What a show it was. And I was so impressed by this band. So tell me how you even decided to form this thing, because I would have not expected this, to be honest with you. And it came together and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And when I saw you play, I was even like, that's even cooler, man. You guys had the crowd feeding out of your hand.
Well, it kind of happened of, you know, we didn't know what direction we were going in. We were kind of just playing, you know, shows here and there. And it kind of all just happened one day, you know.
Timing.
Timing
Yeah,
was everything with that.
it was totally timing. You know, we had done fill-in shows together with Seven and the band he had at the time, and just Lee and Seven had been doing acoustic shows together, and we were all just kind of, you know, it just kind of formed organically. You know, when you enjoy playing with people and you're on similar vibe, I guess. It's easy, you know. It's just like, you know, it just kind of made sense.
I was a huge fan of Sevens. From we had done shows together before with our bands, and then I really liked his voice a lot. I thought it was I'm talking about him like he's not here, but I thought he was a really good singer. But I thought his voice was interesting, and I mean that in a good way. I mean, I thought it had character, and I think for me, and what I really enjoyed with country music was his song selection a lot. And I thought, man, you know, that kind of similar influences as far as the country side of things. And I thought it would be kind of an easy melding of what we were going to do coming out of the gate with the cover songs and things like that, because we knew a lot of the same material. But there was a lot of other material in that vein that we weren't able to do in other projects that we were able to dive into a little bit further with this, because it was stuff that we were more into.
It all just made sense.
Yeah.
Well, and it's a great combo. I mean, it is. And you can tell you guys play well off each other on the stage, and you like what you're doing up there. But you have several variations of this band that you're calling Denim Deluxe, because I've seen a duo, a trio, a full band lineup. Let's talk about the band lineup and who's with you in this project.
Well, it's us three. And then we have Daniel Lucas on keys and Kevin Colwell on bass. Guitars.
I like the way I look better when the screen was smaller.
But it's the five of us.
We sometimes have a pedal steel player with us as well. Kirk Schultz plays with us. He's in Florida right now.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He's an amazing guy, but he's back with us doing some stuff as well, bigger shows and things of that nature. But primarily the five of us that Seven spoke about.
And all these guys, seasoned players. I mean, all of you are. And even Seven is in his infancy over there as the young guy in the group. He's been playing a long time. And I became a fan of Seven back. Gosh, he played a Battle of the Bands or something we did.
Yeah,
and as a solo guy. And you're right, Lee, when his voice hit the mic the first time, you know, what I noticed was the entire room stopped what they're doing. And if they were even chatting with each other, they turned their heads and they're like, wow, that sounds coming out of this kid. And he was a kid then. He was young. He didn't have a beard yet or any of that. So,
and I was 100 pounds lighter.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but since you did, yeah, well, you know, and you know, and that was 3 kids ago and a lot of other things when you were just a young pup up there. But you wowed me with your professionalism and talent. And, you know, when you step up on that stage, Seven, you command the crowd. And Lee, you've always done that. Catfish, you know, drummers, they're stuck in the back of the room, but yet, you know, you always, when you sing and do the lead stuff, bring people into the mood too. So let me ask this: if people have never seen you before on this show, what would you describe your musical style as?
You're gonna get a little bit of everything, but we have something for everybody. Is the way I look at it. You know, we're not. That was kind of our big thing going into putting this project together. Is we didn't really want to pin ourselves to one thing. We wanted to have the freedom to be able to, you know, do everything that we love, or you know, most of the things.
Yeah, you said that well, because you know, at first we're like, okay, 90s country, obviously, but there's a lot of guys doing 90s country. You know, there's a lot of bands, great bands in town doing 90s country. And we do a ton of it because we love it. But we're doing modern country as well. We're doing a lot of classic country, and we're doing some rock and roll, a little bit of pop.
Yeah.
Blues,
awesome.
So,
You never know.
But whatever it is we play, it comes out as us.
yeah.
Right.
We have the country. Me and Lee, we've been playing together for years, and whenever we play country, it rocks a little bit. And
Yeah.
whenever we play rock, it's
Country's
got
a little
bit
bit.
of twang.
Yeah.
It's got- and so we're kind
If you never heard Tom Sawyer with a pedal steel, I mean, you're in for a treat.
That I want to hear for sure. Let me say hi to a few folks.
Yeah.
Folks that are checking in with us today, watching the show. Hi, Bill. Wild Bill Video in the house. Lola Adams. Hi, Lola. Roger, thank you for being here. Taz is in the house. Eric Sears has joined us. How you doing, Eric? Thanks for joining us. Maddie Rose in the house as well. And Jeff Parsons says you guys should do some disco too. What do you think about that?
He's probably right.
I don't know.
Probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of
wanna-
that, every now and then we have
Some
opportunity. We have some female singers come out with us as well. We do a lot with Maddie Rose. She's awesome. So it's kind of bringing that Denim and Honey thing back into that as well.
Yeah.
Thanks, Taz.
Thank you, Taz, for that comment. Alex Hall, my brother from another mother. How are you? Thanks for being here today. And joining us, if you're watching, just stepping in, this is Denim Deluxe that's joined us here on the program. We're talking about how they formed, what they did, and to put this together, and what makes them tick a little bit up there on the stage. And one of the things that I've seen, guys, already in 4 months' time, you guys are gaining momentum, and you're getting a lot of bookings. You're out there, you're playing a ton. And what I think from that is I see some end goals coming here for this project. I mean, I understand you might be even writing original stuff. You're playing originals. Talk to me about that a little bit. How you feel about this sudden thrust of momentum with this band?
Well, we're going to take it while we can get it.
I love that. Thank you. Boy, that's no truer words in the music business, is it?
Life just throws you things, and if you're not ready to grab a hold and ride that horse, it'll leave you.
Yeah.
Maddie Rose.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Maddie, for the comment.
We wanted to write, but we weren't sure. Hey, Alex, when that was going to come up. We wanted it to happen organically, and so we started that a couple of weeks ago, and wrapping up our first single, some arrangement and production things on that, and then getting into the studio to get that out while continuing to write and do that. So we're just trying to juggle it all right now. It's interesting starting a new band, because with our older bands, we're established and in places and things like that. You start a new band and you feel like you've been, you're
You paid your dues.
but you're starting over. So it's really interesting. We've been very fortunate to have relationships with a lot of great venues that have already booked us. In our quarter four is not booked up yet. Quarter one's booked up, and so we've been very fortunate to do that. So it's really even a new band. It's a juggling game to try and figure out where you want to divvy up the time. I mean, all of us have stuff going on, so where do you want to put that time at? Where what's the potency and the direct potency of that going to be best? Is it going to be in booking? Is it going to be in writing? Is it going to be in merchandising? Is it going to be on promotion, all of those things, setting up a new PA system. There's a lot of things that go into this, the song list, the way you're going to navigate from song to song on stage, the way you're going to set up your in-ears. And I could go on and on about that side of things. And then there's a lot of logistics that go into everything from that, especially when you start a brand new band.
Everything in the background that nobody sees, that when we're not playing, because it's like a, better than anybody. It's like a full-time job.
It is. It's demanding, but it's. I wish everybody could have that kind of full-time job. It's very rewarding.
It's nice to go into something having like he said, the relationships and the years of experience that we have, and even though he's a young pup, he knows a lot, like quite a bit, and he's mature. He's mature when
he's an old soul. That's what I call him, an old soul.
Man.
He really is.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this too. I mean, it's interesting what you're saying. And when I talked to you the other night when you were playing, several of you made a comment that you didn't want to oversaturate yourself. And I thought that was interesting because I admire that in a band, because so many bands get so hungry for the gig that they lose focus on the fact that it's doing them a disservice versus a service by playing 5-6 nights a week, not only for their families, their health, their well-being, but just for the fact that there's only so many people out there that follow live music to an excess, and they're not going to come see us 6 nights a week anymore. The days of the house band are over. So, why did you guys decide, we're going to play just here, there, and, we're not going to play 5-6 nights a week?
Well, it's also, that has a lot to do with strategy, where you play too. Mm-hmm. Like you have a gig way on the east side, and you start out small, give yourself a little tour, so to speak. You're not really touring, but, make sure that, if you're playing a Friday and Saturday, it's not in the same side of town. And the next weekend you're playing on the other side of town. You just want to make sure that you're hitting different places within a reasonable distance. Just take the map and go, if we played here this weekend, we're playing over here. We're playing, 15 miles the other direction.
I think it was one of those things where I found myself in a situation, in prior that, you found yourself playing the same place, 3 times a week, or and it got to the point where it's like, well, if we're not going to catch them tonight, we can catch them on Thursday or Friday. Mm-hmm. And that was what I wanted to avoid.
And that's how you build your fan base, by spreading yourself out a little bit.
And we wanted to keep people wanting more. When they see it, we want them to be like, man, where are these guys at next? Where are we going to go to see them?
Right. Yeah. And the next time you show up in that area, they're going to come see you because it's been a while and it hasn't been last week or any of that. And that's strategically and logistically as big a machine as the band itself, I think, where you play, how you market yourself and what you do. And you guys seem to be doing a great job of that. And your social media marketing is good. I mean, that's perfect. And, I never don't know when you're playing. I mean, it's one of those that I see your posts, I see all that. You guys are doing a great job of that. And who makes that tick? Who's running that machine?
Lee and Daniel, man, they are phenomenal at the social media aspect of everything. Because I know you're not.
I know you're not.
Great at that, but Lee's a workforce, man. Yeah, he does so much for the band, and I appreciate that. All the work he puts in, and all the hours he puts in, it's
all the bitching I do at everybody all the time. all the 45-minute conversations with Catfish.
I think, I'm his counselor, by the way.
What a pity.
What's up, Josh? When it comes to social media, the important thing for the band is, if Daniel's making a flyer and Lee's posting stuff, that everybody does their part and spreads the words themselves. If there's a flyer on the band page, I got to share it. He's got to share it. Everybody shares it and talk it up and talk on the posts. And
that's huge. It's cross-pollinating.
It's like somebody throws the pitch, but you got to keep the ball going. It's that's what it's about. As long as everybody in the band, and Kevin's great at that. He's great at spreading the word. He's been running his band for years. So he knows how this works.
And Daniel spends a lot of time on those flyers.
Yeah, he does a lot of graphic art stuff, and does a ton of work.
Yeah,
it is, and I can say, I mean, that I see a lot of it. We've talked about it on our Hot Topic Tuesday shows about marketing your band and such, and you guys are on target with all that. And it always amazes me that there are great bands out there that you never know are playing because they don't tell anybody. Well, I mean, it's like
I'll take. I talked to Taz a lot. Taz is Taz, to use him as an example, is a lover of music, and he goes out and supports a lot of local music. And he always said to me, man, I need to know your. Hey, Scott Dawson, our new buddy there, good guy. Check him out. Taz kind of put the bug in my ear, like, get these events out there with enough notice that people can schedule off work. And it sounds funny, but that does happen. I know Taz will sometimes work out his schedule based on what bands he's going to go see. So if he's making it a schedule for January and you don't have any events for January, you don't have anything advertised for January, you're not doing yourself any favor.
Mm-hmm. And I have to agree with that. I mean, getting it out in advance is huge to a lot of us to be able to plan what we're doing and who we're going to go see. And I've got to say hi. Josh obviously is on here. Aaron Henning, thank you. Mike Coons, thanks for being here. Jill Drew, Jeff Parsons back in the house again. And what do we got? T. Sean Campbell here, I believe, is who I just saw pop up there. Thank you so much for being with us. And it's interesting, guys, because this project and what I noticed when I came to see you was, again, like I said at the beginning of the show, the camaraderie on stage, the fact that I don't know if it's an act or not, but you look like you're having a great time up there with each other.
That's not an act.
No, it's
You know?
not.
We're all kind of like what you see is what you get kind of people. All
Yeah.
three of us.
We're super. It sounds cheesy, but it's true. We're super fans of each other. I mean,
Yeah.
it's nice to stand there and watch the other person in the band, do what they do, and be a fan of that. And it's definitely a blessing to be able to be with guys that you have that kind of respect and camaraderie with. You really, it's like going to a show where you have the best seat in the house all the time. Here at Seven Sing, here in Catfish play the drums and all of that stuff. Daniel, of course, and Kevin's got so much energy and really brings another dimension to all of that. And it's kind of like, man, what are these guys going to do next? Like,
It's great to be able to admire the guys you play.
that's right.
Well, and Seven, I told you a while back when I heard about this project, I think I messaged you or we talked or something, and it was like, you have landed a gig with some great pros. And I'm going to give Lee Dixon props, because anytime Lee Dixon plays, his frontman ability, even though he may not be the frontman singer in the band, his frontman ability of being a cheerleader for the rest of the band always, and announcing who that was and who was singing lead and somebody else on a solo or whatever. Lee, you're a master at that, man. And I mean that sincerely.
Well, that means a lot to me. Thank you. I'm glad you noticed.
I try.
Yeah.
I do. Hi, Shane. Hi, Bob Klein. Thanks for being here. All right. We got a lot of people checking in today. And again, if you're watching after we're live, the band's going to post this on their page. So certainly, and all their respective pages. So please ask questions if you have a question. If you're watching after we're live, certainly they'll be glad to answer. We're going to get into where they're going to be playing and all that stuff here in a little bit. And I want to echo also what you said about Taz. He's a great music fan. He gets out there. And one thing about Taz, he tells it like it is. And I like that about him.
Sometimes you don't want to hear some of the stuff he's saying, but it's true.
Yeah. And Taz says, you've been a hidden gem for too long. Yeah. And Lee, anytime I've ever been around you, you're a true professional. And Catfish, the same way. I've been around you guys a lot. And like I said, I know Seven back when I was his friend before he left me for the tour and all that. I was tight with Seven for a long time. Maddie says you're top tier performers. But one thing I do want to say, you look like you're having fun. There's smiles on your faces when you're playing. And that has a lot to do, I think, with your history. You guys all have history. You all have bands that you've played with that maybe didn't work out, did work out. They were great projects for a lot of years, and that gains you that experience. So when you take that and put it into a big blender here, how do you decide what songs work for you, what songs don't, and how you get it out to the audience so they leave the room with a smile on their face?
This is a big Seven question for sure.
Big, that's why it's hard to have a hard defined set list with a band like us, because there's so much material we can do that
Sometimes it's really just doing it a few times and finding out if it fits for your band.
Yeah, it's different from band to band. I mean, stuff that you thought for sure would go over really, really well, didn't in the older bands and does in the new bands, or vice versa. Stuff that went over really well in the older bands, you do in a new band, and it doesn't come through the same way.
For me, no matter what, to hit on something you said, is there the other day you had a show where you were talking about, is there any song that you wouldn't play? And the only song I won't play is the song I can't play. And whatever song I'm playing,
It's your favorite song.
people are loving it. It's my favorite song.
Yeah,
it's my favorite song.
He said that to me years ago, and I said, while he's playing it, that's his favorite song. And I thought, man, what a great way to look at that. Like,
absolutely,
it's no secret that it's all kind of like, you hear Wagon Wheel and you're like, man, But let's face it, Wagon Wheel is not a bad song.
Right.
Freebird is not a bad song.
There's a reason why those songs are popular.
Yeah, and I think you're there to entertain people, and I think it's important to dive into that and try to feel that regardless of what you're doing.
I think that's,
You know, I've always said that as well. I mean, the first time you hear somebody on stage hop up there and they're just a small town girl, you know,
Yeah.
those kind of things, those songs work, whether you like them or you don't, or whether, because musicians become haters of songs, I think, because they're overplayed. But if the crowd's up and energized and they're dancing, you've done your job. And, you know, you guys play 90s country. It's not a genre where everybody's into it, but the songs you pick out of that, whoever picks your set list is picking the right energy tunes, is what I guess I'm trying to say.
That's one of our biggest compliments, is that the set list, the song choices, are hitting everybody in the room, and I think that's one of the biggest compliments we've received.
yeah. I mean, there's songs that we do that, you know, are not my favorite, but you have to do them because they're gonna.
Sean, what's up, man?
They're gonna be hits. They're gonna get people up out of their seats. They're gonna get them moving. You know. And, you know, I'm not going to say what the songs are because, you know, then you'd be looking for them. But
right? You're gonna, I can tell.
Taz is leaving if you play Mustang Sally.
That's
He's
all
out.
we do.
Yeah. Now you remember, when Taz is being annoying, just throw Mustang Sally in the set list and he'll go somewhere else for the night. So,
That's funny.
fellas, I'm a fan of this band. You can tell. I mean, already I'm a fan of this band. I've been a fan of all of you in your own right for a long time. And Seven, I want to dig into you just for a minute, because I remember you being that scared, wet behind the ear guy hiding behind a guitar playing. And, you know, you've come out of your shell completely. You're a great front man now. And what was the first song, Seven, you ever learned to play and you played in front of an audience?
first one was "Don't Close Your Eyes" by Keith Whitley.
Wow, great tune. That's
First,
lofty goals.
it won me my first $100.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you still have any of that money left?
I don't think so.
Lee, he's got 3 kids, man. He has no money.
And his wife is super bougie too.
Yes. I saw she got her hair done today, by the way. So, you know, I mean, it's
Hey, Jessica. It's a lot going on there.
Yeah, you know Jessica.
She's going to come after us, I think, today. I don't want Jessica on my bad side, man. I've been around her.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Rambo in the house. What's going on?
Rambo's my buddy.
That's like the movie Backdraft. That's my brother, damn it. All right. No, that's my brother-in-law. There we go. All right. So lots more to talk about before we go today, guys. So let's roll through this here if we can real quick. Fondest musical memories, Lee Dixon, in your life, you know, whether it's something at home, your neighborhood, your town, or just anything that has to do with music.
Well, there's been so many of them. I mean, I don't know. I know I should know that right off the top of my head. I don't know. You know, I got to play. I always wanted to play the Taste of Cincinnati, and we got a couple years ago at the Kevin McCoy band. We got to play the Taste of Cincinnati, and that was really, really super cool. And so that was one of the coolest things for me at this point so far.
Uh-oh, Jessica West is watching. We're in trouble. Yes.
Her ears were burning.
Her ears were burning. She knows I was talking about her. Love you, Jess. Don't come after me. All right, Gary Ridgway, Lakes Ridge Band. How you doing, Gary? Thanks for being here. So that all comes into play. You've got fond memories. Catfish, how about you? What's yours, you think?
Well, there's a lot of them. I'd say as a player, there was a few times when Lee and I were in bands together and we had worked really hard on an album. And that first time that you present that, the CD release party,
yeah,
the first time you go out there and you present that to people and people are digging it and they're into it, it's like there's no drug on earth that you can take that makes you feel like that.
Yeah.
And opening for, like, we got to open for Blue Oyster Cult one time, just open for like people like Winger,
yep,
and musicians that you have looked up to all your life, and you're just like, is this real?
Mm-hmm.
And I may not be a rich man from music, but I can tell you I'm successful. I've been successful.
well said.
Well, I think there's a wealth in providing musical entertainment to people that don't provide it don't understand. That there's that take home feeling of, wow, we managed the crowd tonight. We made the crowd enjoy themselves, whether they wanted to or not. We turned it into that kind of night, and I think there's a lot of adrenaline in that and a lot of good vibes, don't you?
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
there's nothing.
Hello. Anybody there?
Feel better than playing to a room full of people who know what you're doing.
You still got us?
So let me.
Hello?
Yeah, I got you. You still there? I'm
Yep.
here. Are you there?
We are here.
Yeah, we're
I
here.
think so.
I think we're still in the house. We're still in the house. So a couple more questions before we have to go today. First and foremost, how can anybody that's watching today find you guys out there if they want to follow the band and such? You're on social media, right? We talked about that.
Yeah, just type in on Instagram or Facebook, Denim Deluxe Band on there right now. That'll keep you updated on all of our dates.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much the main thing right now.
Yeah, we're on Facebook mostly.
Yeah.
That's right now. Before we're planning, we have plans to get a website.
Mm-hmm.
That's on the agenda.
Yeah, the Book of Face seems to be
The
most
Book of
popular.
Face. Yeah.
Yes, the Book of Face, Instagram, 7's on Farmers Only or something like that, I think, if I remember correctly.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Originally,
right.
Back in my past life.
Farmer's Feet.
Yeah, that's where I found him, I think. Yeah. You guys, you're not right. You're not right. We're having a little glitchy audio here. We're cutting in and out on the audio side just a little bit with you guys, but hopefully everybody out there is hearing us. I've got to say hi to Cricket. Thank you for being here today. Mike Tekulve in the house. How you doing, Mike? Thank you. Rambo, like we said, is watching. Julie, thank you for watching today. And again, guys, go to that page we talked about, Denim Deluxe Band on Facebook. Hit a little like there. Let's give them some likes and follows and all that good stuff. Go ahead, Lee.
I want to say, Scott,
raising his hand.
We're huge fans of yours and what you do for the music community. Thank you so much for everything. When you posted that you needed, and I'll just be transparent about it. It's not like Scott came out and said, "Hey, will you guys come on and be interviewed?" As soon as Scott needed somebody, I wanted us to be on his show. Mm-hmm. So we have a great deal of respect for you and what you're doing for the community, and we appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you guys. And if it weren't for the great musicians I get to go see, I wouldn't have anything to talk about. So, as we got to see you at Mr. Burroughs not too long ago. And your show at Mr. Burroughs was a great one. People were into it. They were having fun. And, I always joke that's 5 minutes from my house. I get to see a ton of great music right here in Springboro, between Heather's, Mr. Burroughs. There's
Absolutely.
a lot of great venues out there. So it's fun for me.
Both those places.
Yeah, let's talk about upcoming shows. That's what I was going to segue into. So let's chat about your upcoming shows, guys, if you will.
Mr. Lee Dixon.
We lost Catfish. Look,
Catfish
this
keeps
Friday night
going to the cooler or something. I don't know what he's doing back there.
We're at Shiners on Newport on the Levee. Not Shriners, I found out. Shiners Newport on the Levee this Friday night, 10:30 p.m. Joey Vasilet's opening the show. He's amazing. So we're all going there early to hear him, and they have great food. So we're there this Friday night. And then going into next month, we're at Turfway Park. We're at Bell and the Bear. We're at
Bell and the Bear for my birthday.
Their birthday show. Yeah, we're at Rick's Tavern. And then we're also at Trillions in January.
Yeah. So we're a little all over the map.
Yeah.
In that upcoming month.
Well, that's a pretty good lineup there. And certainly glad to see you're playing the Bell and the Bear. That's fun. Karis, my co-hostess with the mostest on Tuesdays, we have a blast with that show, and I have all the respect in the world for her. She's got Lita Ford tonight at her place.
Yeah, that's tonight. That's huge.
That's
huge.
Amazing that she pulls these things off with these national acts. And, I've seen Kip Winger there, and I just lost you boys on the video feed. I don't know where you went, but I'll keep talking, and hopefully you'll pop back on here. Chris Will in the house. Maddie Rose, thank you so much. And I'm not sure what happened to you, Lee. I'm going to remove you here, and then I'll bring you back in and see if you're out there. Still no feed from the boys from Denim Deluxe, but we'll see what shakes here, and hopefully they'll come back to me in just a moment. They may have to log back in. We're about done with the show anyway today. I did want to touch on, though, follow them on Facebook again at Denim Deluxe Band on Facebook. You can find it there. They're on Instagram, as we talked about. And let me see what Maddie's got to say here. She says, all the cool people be at Shiners on Friday. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you for that. And if you're out there, guys, you have a comment for the band, drop it in the comments, if you will. I want to remind you that while they're trying to log back in, maybe here, if we can get them back, I want to remind you that we are going to be live tomorrow at 5 with Who's Playing Out. It's brought to you by our friends at Froggy's in Monroe. We'll bring you the best musicians and venues in the tri-state and who's playing out for the week, so you can plan your Christmas week of music if you want to do that. And I got the boys back. The boys are back. There we go.
We popped into an alternate universe.
Somebody called me because they had a great deal for auto insurance, so I didn't want to miss that.
Your warranty's about to expire, Lee. Yeah. Well, let's finish this up today with anything else you have to share with those watching. And let me say, too, I appreciate what you said. And Bill, thank you for that comment. Appreciate what you said about what we're doing here. We're trying to support local music. We do it every chance we get. And you guys are one that I want to support, players that I've known for a lot of years. And guys, I can't encourage you enough, if you're watching today, to get out to see this band. Even if you're not a huge country fan, get out and see this band because they're entertaining. They're fun. You'll have a great night out. Yeah. Talk to me, you guys. Tell me what else is up. Anything else?
Hey, so we got something for everybody. So you don't have to be just a country fan to come see us. That's for sure.
We like to try to put on
Thanks, Ted.
a rock show.
Yeah,
with a country band.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lee likes Garth Brooks a lot, So
I do.
He learned his tricks from watching Garth Brooks.
If there was a way to get me to come up from the floor, that'd be cool. I'd like to.
Like you do at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, come see us. That's out. Request some songs. We love that, and we appreciate everybody that comes to see us.
We just like making music for people that enjoy what we do, and there's nothing more you can really ask. And we hope that you guys keep coming to see us, and so we can keep doing it.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, we're ending it up with my favorite question I ask everybody I interview. We're going to start with you, Lee Dixon, in the middle, if you will. If you could take the stage with any celebrity musician, past or present, who would it be?
Merle Haggard.
Thank you. 7?
Well, I told you. I think we talked about it last time I was on the show. Is Glenn Campbell for sure.
Glenn Campbell. All right. How about Catfish Campbell? No.
My first song I ever listened to, my first musical memory of listening to music was Glenn Campbell.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that I'd like to go play on stage with. Rush, Led Zeppelin,
Mm-hmm.
But Prince. But Phil Collins, he's everything that I love about music. He's a singer, he's a songwriter, he's a drummer. He's a superior human being. So I think I would like to just go hang out with him, even if I don't get to hang out on stage.
Yeah.
Jim Quest has got a cool new band going on, Genesis Retouched.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got to see that. In fact, Jim's going to be my guest next Wednesday with the band that's January 17th. Jim will be with me. He's going the week before he reveals the Genesis Retouched band, and I'm looking forward to having him on. So
I'm excited about that.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Jim Cuesta, the music professor, as I like to refer to him. The guy can play anything. He's amazing.
Yeah.
And Jeff wants to know why no Taylor Swift?
I think we get enough of her on Sunday Night Football.
Damn. That's tough, man. That's tough on the old T-Swizzle there, 7.
I heard Daniel can actually sing Taylor
Daniel
Swift.
can sing Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that 7 could only be as lucky to have Taylor's money. That's all.
I think that's
Taylor makes more money than the whole Chiefs roster, so
yeah, she's done it right. She has.
She is super talented.
Yes, and a marketing genius.
yeah.
Absolutely. Or she surrounded herself with some really great people. One of the other. So.
You know when to let them do it or do it herself for sure.
So, folks, you've been watching Wednesday with the Band with our friends here, 7 West, Lee Dixon, Catfish Campbell. And, guys, I want to say one of the best marketed bands right now in the tri-state you are. You're doing a great job of pushing it out there. Your show is equally as fun when you go to the show and enjoy it. So, guys, if you're watching, hit that little like button or follow button on their page and see where they're playing and get out and check these guys out. You'll enjoy the show. They're playing a lot of places, both Cincinnati and Dayton markets. So, get involved with the Denim Deluxe band, if you will, so to speak. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Wish we had all day to talk, but people start dropping off like flies when we get past 40 minutes. So we're going to end this thing today. Thank you so much, fellas.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate y'all. We're going to get out of here. Remember, tomorrow, Thursday, who's playing out in the tri-state? And if your band would like to join us on Wednesday with the band, slide into our DMs, as Karis likes to say, and give us a little look-see, and we'll get you involved here at All Around Town Radio. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Vanessa, for being here as well. Guys, we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. You guys stay with me for a minute.
Working for the weekend, and I wanna see a show. I flip on the poker face. Yeah, I know where to go. There's a man over there into the music scene, showing lots of love for the community. With great advice, I know who I should go see.
Play when he wasn't. Good old my brother. What? 7. Show. You gotta say show. Don't just say